Welcome to yet another episode of Jikoni Magic's Meza. Today I want to share with you one of my all-time favorite ways of enjoying extra crispy potato wedges that are tender on the inside and crispy on the outside. I'm starting when I've already peeled and washed my potatoes. I'll use this last one to show you how I divide it. I divide it into halves and then into quarters. You could opt to leave the wedges as quarters, but personally I find them too thick and the end result is a mushy, almost gummy inside as opposed to a pillowy, tender inside. So I proceed to divide the potatoes further into eighths. Next, I put all the wedges together in a sufuria, added rosemary leaves, crushed 2 cloves of garlic in order to ensure that they release their aromas into the potatoes. Added enough salt to taste because bland potatoes, in my opinion, are the absolute worst thing. Then I added just enough water to cover them and then placed the sufuria on the stove to start cooking. This was after about 5 minutes and the potatoes had just started boiling. So I just moved them around a bit, reduced the heat to a gentle simmer for about 3 minutes, turned off the heat and drained the potatoes. As they were cooling down, I prepared my spice mix for sprinkling on the wedges. So to the bowl I added a 1/4 teaspoon each of thyme, sage, parsley, basil, minced onion, powdered chili, garlic powder, and salt to taste. Then I poured all these ingredients into my coffee grinder because I needed to have the spice and herb blend in powder form. I absolutely love this blend. You can switch it up to suit you depending on the ingredients that you have available. It's not a must to use this particular blend. So I set the blend aside for later. In another bowl I added 2/3 cups semolina flour. You could also use maize flour here. 1 teaspoon curry powder, freshly cracked black pepper, and salt to taste. I use this mixture to coat my potato wedges and give them that extra crispiness. And I also keep it very simple in flavors because I already have a lot of that in the powdered herb and spice mix that I've just made. By now the wedges had cooled down sufficiently to be handled by hand, so I placed them in the semolina flour mixture and proceeded to coat them. Sometimes even with your best effort to be gentle, you might end up with broken wedges. They don't bother me much, but on the other hand, it would be good not to have too many broken pieces. I placed them on a plate and left them to stand for about 15 minutes to ensure that as much of the semolina flour as possible got to stick on the wedges. And as you can see, I had a few more broken pieces. So the next step was to fry them in oil that was heated on moderate heat. I normally add one by one and ensure that I do not overcrowd the pan. After about 2 minutes, I move them around with a fork just to ensure that there are no wedges that are stuck together. This was after about 4 minutes of frying the potato wedges, and as you can see, they had started attaining a bit of color. So I removed them from the hot oil and waited for it to get hot again, almost to the point of smoking, and then returned the potato wedges for the second round of frying. The second round is very crucial because of 2 things. First of all, it will help in the formation of the most beautifully browned wedges, and second, it will ensure that the potato wedges come out extra crispy. Look at them. Don't you just love how they've turned out? I know I do. After placing them on the plate, I sprinkled the herb and spice mixture while they were sizzling hot. They absorb the most flavors this way. Don't wait for them to cool down. I accompanied the potato wedges with teriyaki chicken wings that were sprinkled with sesame seeds. Yum. And this is how the wedges turned out: crispy layer on the outside and soft and fluffy on the inside. I appreciate that you joined me today. Until next time, God willing, let's meet right here on Jikoni Magic for more fantastic food. Happy cooking and kwaherini ya kuonana.